I can't stop reading. Drake's filing. Drake's court filing. Suing UMG. I mean, Drake suing UMG, Spotify, I think iHeartRadio, yeah. Like, he's suing everybody but Kendrick. Like... Alright. In case you don't know, because I don't expect everybody to just know everything I'm talking about all the time. In case you don't know, Kendrick Lamar is a rapper. He's a phenomenal rapper. You know, some are saying the best to ever do it, right? There are a lot of people that, yeah, except Drake, yeah. Kendrick Lamar is absolutely killing it right now, and he was in a beef with Drake. Now, if you don't know, Drake was a rapper. He was a rapper until Kendrick Lamar rapped while he was rapping, and then they did it at each other, and it did not go well for Drake.
On Tuesday, Drake officially withdrew his petition against Spotify and UMG, talking about how they illegally boosted numbers for Kendrick Lamar during the rap beef on the song Not Like Us. Immediately, people were talking about how this is a huge fat L for Drake. He said he was going to go against the industry. Fuck the man. I'm going to take down Universal. I'm doing this for musicians everywhere. They're going to open their books and I'm going to expose them as frauds. And then he just kind of like slinked away and said, you know what? Never mind. I'm not doing any of that. Now, people were like, well, there has to have been a huge fat settlement. There's no way Drake would pull out unless he got his money. That's not the case. Spotify was like, cool, we're done with this. UMG said we still reserve the right to file our opposition, so they were not willing to let it go. So that to me says that there was no settlement out of court, because if there was, all of this would be dead. Fast forward to this morning, new lawsuit dropped. Drake drops the old lawsuit and now files a new lawsuit about defamation, saying that they were false and malicious rumors that were tearing him down. But this new lawsuit sounds a lot like the old lawsuit, where he accused them of payola and bots in order to inflate Not Like Us, in order to devalue Drake so that he would have no leverage when it came time to negotiate with UMG. All of this stuff here sounds exactly like the last lawsuit. The only new thing is that he says that UMG was in on Kendrick getting the Super Bowl as well. To me, the last lawsuit had some merit. You're going against music labels, you're going against music executives. They are the slimiest fucks in the world. If you're gonna make them open up their books and expose them for fraud and predatory practices and unfair business, all good. That to me actually would have been a good thing for the music industry. This new defamation shit is just like, yeah, you lost in a rap beef, you got called a bunch of names, everybody's clowning you, and now you're crying about it and going to the feds. Fuck.
Defending this man is a full-time job, honestly, because he stays in some shit, don't he? I mean, he just loves ruffling y'all's feathers, and so do I. I mean, honestly, it's my favorite pastime. So Drake recently purchased Tupac's Death Row Records chain, and now he has both the ring and the chain, and he's got the internet all up in arms about it. I mean, these so-called hip-hop purists are crashing out on the internet because of it, and I don't know why y'all are so mad. I mean, honestly, Drake is the only person who deserves both Tupac's ring and his chain, considering the fact that he's the closest thing to Tupac that we've ever seen. I mean, he's basically a reincarnation of Tupac. Lyrically, musically, talent-wise.
Universal has potentially offered Drake $250 million to drop his lawsuit. The craziest part of this whole thing is Kanye told the truth on why Drake will win if it goes to court in his interview with DJ Academics. Kanye was explaining how this invisible hand was forcing artists to speak out against him. In particular, Ty Dolla $ign, where if he didn't speak out, they would cancel his tour and cut his artists.
And this is coercion. That's why gonna be locked up someday. They said, Ty, you have to denounce Ye publicly or we're gonna drop your artist, Leon. We're gonna cancel all your tours.
Where a judge has ruled in favor of Drake denying UMG's motion to prevent his team from investigating executives' internal communication. What that means is his team can now look at all emails, documents, and UMG's promotional activities surrounding the Grammys and Super Bowl, which has now caused this rumor of a $250 million settlement if Drake drops his lawsuit. According to a very connected source close to Drake, UMG doesn't want this fight to go public. The insider claims the label is pushing hard to settle things before the lawsuit gains traction in court. While at the same time, Spotify is removing bot streams for the third month in a row from big artists, but obviously isn't going to drop any names. Where Kendrick went from 110 million monthly streams all the way down to 98 million, and Drake's didn't change. So Spotify removing all these bots could be their move to get out in front of what's to come with the Drake and Universal lawsuit as it continues. It's wild this whole thing started with Universal not wanting to pay Drake, and now they're gonna have to pay him even more money.
Somebody needs to check on Drake because he is speedrunning the end of his career. Like, suing your label and the largest music streaming platform in the world because a song calling you out because you publicly hit on minors on social media, and your response to that is like, I need to sue two of the biggest people that have benefited me, paid me millions of dollars, and given me the entire life I'm living in now. Huh? Like, the lack of introspection is scary. Like, I'm with peace and love. You know, I don't know much. I'm just a guy with a Wi-Fi connection, but like, maybe, I don't know, like, stop talking to the children. Or like, think about, you know, the way you like have, you know, had these really close relationships grooming with like Millie Bobby Brown and like, you know what I mean? At some point, like, when are you gonna realize that there's only one common denominator in every single one of these situations? It's not Kendrick Lamar, babe. Like, you're the one doing this. It's not everybody else in the world is wrong. Like, it's you.
So Drake and Bobby Altoff are about to drop a new podcast episode. Note, Drake is the one who helped Bobby launch her previous podcast that no one asked for, which Bobby likes to say. But I enjoyed that podcast. I was kind of upset they deleted that off of YouTube because I thought that shit was funny as hell. When she was like, do you think I look good? And then he said, I do it. That shit was funny. But yeah, Drake and Bobby are sitting down for a new podcast, Not This Again. And a lot of hip-hop media pundits are upset, or you will see will be upset in the upcoming week. And I think there's a lot of interesting conversation around this. There's 2 points I want to speak on. The first one is the hip-hop media being upset. Mainly because like hip-hop media pundits like Elliot Wilson has talked about how big mainstream artists don't sit down with actual journalists anymore. And that is true. You feel me? We want them to sit down with real journalists so the journalists can ask hard-hitting questions, this, that, and the third. And we don't see much of that these days. And that's because of narratives. Now, narratives are going to get spun, twisted, and manipulated any which way regardless, right? So whether you choose to sit down with the hip-hop journalist or you choose to not sit down with anyone at all, people are going to create narratives, spin them, this, that, and the third. That has happened on my page, you feel me? I'm not going to lie to you. Shit has happened. Yeah, you feel me? I'm just here making content. But to avoid that or circumvent that, a lot of major artists are like, I'm not sitting down with y'all. You feel me? I don't want Charlamagne to ask me the deep, hard-hitting question about the rap beef or the lawsuit or anything like that. I'd rather go sit with Bobby, make some jokes, go viral for certain moments without having to dig deep into why Kendrick Lamar thinks I have a child or why I said he beats on Whitney or anything like that. Instead of saying shit like that or talking about the lawsuit and Lucien Grange or any of that, I'd rather just sit down with Bobby. That's the truth of the matter. Even the Kendrick Lamars of the world, he sat down with SZA. Like, his first interview post-battle was with SZA for GQ magazine. You feel me? And then when he did sit down with Ebros for the Super Bowl, and guess what? There were no hard-hitting questions about the battle that really took place. You feel me? Because that all gets vetted by PR and shit. Like, yo, listen, that's not what this is about. You can't ask those type of questions. You feel me? And then even that, he sat down with Timothy Chalamet. You feel me? That's what it was. So if you go to Pusha T and Clips route and you do that circuit of actual journalists and stuff, they're going to ask you about the Kanyes. They're going to ask you about the Drakes. They're going to ask you about the Travis Scott bars. They're going to ask you all that. And you have to know that and be willing to do that. And a lot of the big artists, I guess, to protect their brands and save face and not have their words twisted or manipulated and just let the public create whatever narrative they want to create, they won't sit with the actual journalists. Now, do I think this is a good thing or a bad thing? I'm indifferent. I understand both viewpoints. I would love for y'all to sit down. I want to know. I want you to tell me instead of us creating these narratives and shit. Because trust me, there's a lot of crazy. If you a fan of somebody, you think I create narrative, there's some really crazy things I could be putting out about certain people. There's something I could say about Drake right now that I guarantee will go viral. But I haven't made that video yet because I don't have enough information, if I'm being honest. But instead of going that route, sit down with somebody and actually have the conversation. I feel like that, but I also understand why people want to protect their peace and just let the public make up whatever they want to make up, man. Regardless, how do you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments. Till next time, I'm out of here. You shit me.
Hey Joe, does Drake really have a case against UMG?
I think it's hard on a couple levels. First of all, he's suing about a rap battle. Most people that are listening to a rap battle, like me for instance, don't necessarily take the allegations to heart. We might go, whoa, 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 man, that was crazy, and he made it all rhyme. That doesn't mean that we all think that he's a pedophile. I think it's a hard case because people would normally have to believe the allegations that are being made in defamation, even though there's a whole discussion about defamation per se and damages are automatically presumed. But I think this is a case that's going to be ripe for a dispositive motion. The label's going to try to get rid of this before it ever gets to trial because suing arising out of someone's artistic expression when the same label ran all of his artistic expression is going to be difficult. I mean, the same thing that can make you laugh can make you cry.
UMG is reportedly offering Drake $250 million to drop the lawsuit. Over everyone's feed last year was a Kendrick Lamar and Drake rap beef. And Drake's team dropped a huge lawsuit on UMG asking to see the emails, correspondence, and everything to do with the promotion of the song Not Like Us. Universal declined, and now it looks like they're regretting it. With Spotify cracking down on fake streams, we're able to see a lot of the fake streams being removed from old songs, including a lot from a specific artist. So what does this mean? This means that either Drake's team can drop the lawsuit altogether and take the $250 million, or they want to see all the correspondence between UMG, the Grammys, the Super Bowl, etc. And the fact that they're offering $250 million means that something might be up. According to insider information, UMG really does not want this lawsuit to go forward. And it's kind of ironic all this came from trying to renegotiate a record deal with Drake. Universal didn't want to pay Drake, and now they're gonna have to pay him even more. So what do you think about Spotify cracking down on fake streams, even removing it from some of the biggest artists in the world?